this topic. Let's talk about some of the consumer issues that you have followed in your career. It's nearly 2 decades, if not more. And certainly people have always appreciated what you have highlighted for them. What are the most important things to consumers today, in your opinion? Well,
I think money is so tight right now, so that nobody's wasting their money, and everyone is reevaluating how they spend it and what they spend it on. And I think all the top name brands, you know, like in appliances, as you and I have learned, may not be the best use of our money, even though it has the snob appeal. And I think you really need to do your research before you buy anything. I mean, really thoroughly do it. And buying on the internet is cheaper in a lot of ways. And also I think you need to be careful at these, we did a story the other day on those going out of business sales. They're really not cheap. And there's no recourse, and a lot of them are as-is items. And when we went to Fortune Offs, and I can say because we did it on the show, I took notes. And I said, oh, at this model, at this price, for 20% off, which they're offering me today with no guarantee, no returns, let me look online. And we found it cheaper in almost every single case than what they were selling at the going out of business sale.
You know, I get a little nervous about buying things online because I'm always afraid that if it gets to the house and there's a problem with it, or I haven't seen it, or I haven't touched it, you know, haven't felt it, that it's not going to be exactly what I wanted. Do you find that some people are like me and that they have that kind of inhibition when it comes to buying things that you can't actually put your hands on?
Yeah, and I think going to a mom and pop store sometimes is even cheaper. So you really have to look. And also you will have the service and you'll have the trust and you want to go back and maybe you can make a deal. If you buy a few appliances from this mom and pop store, you can't do that online.
Right.
So, you know, you go in there and you say, I'll give you cash, or, you know, cash is king.
You always say that.
Yes, what can you do for me? That's another thing. Almost everybody's negotiable these days. So at least ask, you know, anywhere you go. Cable services, or the hairdresser, or your lawnmower services. Hey, you know, times are tough, and I'm thinking about switching. So, what can you do for me?
Now, do you have to follow up on that? Because I've heard you give that advice before. You know, negotiate with a vendor, and you say, "Well, I'm thinking of switching vendors and going somewhere else." And if the guy doesn't come back or gal doesn't come back with a better price, then you're kind of stuck. What if you didn't really want to? I was going to say, what if you didn't really want to leave? They were great service providers. You're just trying to get the cost down. Do you have to follow through? Is it like
you have your husband or wife call back and
say she doesn't know what she was talking about? I love you. But what do you do with that? I mean, do you actually have to carry it out?
No, I mean you don't, because you want the service and you want to stick with that hairdresser. You know, you're going to go back with your tail between your legs. But you know, people expect to be asked these days, and I think people are willing to give a little bit. I really do, because business is tough.
Yeah, that's good.
And you know, we're watching what we spend. We're not buying every single thing in sight that we see.
Do you think that people are less materialistic as a result of this bad economy that we've been dealing with, and that they're putting more value on traditional things like spending time together and doing simple things?
I think so. I think it's embarrassing if you have a huge party with very expensive champagne, or you're going out to buy that designer handbag. People are, you know, a little bit not so showy about it right now. And I think it's really great, because you're inviting people over to your home instead of meeting at an expensive restaurant, or asking people to bring food and everybody sort of, you know, does it together. I think everyone's happy. It's relaxed and it really is meaningful.
You know, there was just an article in People magazine, you mentioned that, Ivana Trump, and they had her beautiful, you know, luxurious lifestyle, and I thought, boy, talk about bad timing. A year ago or 2 years ago, we may have looked at that and said, oh, look at this, isn't it beautiful? But now you're kind of saying, do I really need leopard skin toilet paper in every bathroom?
And does she need to do that? Couldn't she be doing something for charity or something?
Right.
That's what goes through your head.
People really are kind of changing their, you know, their attitudes. So
I think that also translates into people looking for mates, because it used to be you wanted the stockbroker. Well, that's really not going to work right now. And I think also you have to realize that people's money can go up and they can go down the next day. So if that's the top of your list, maybe that needs to be reevaluated.
Tell me about the Today Show, because I absolutely love the Today Show. As anyone who's watched my show over the years knows, I was so sorry to see Katie go. But is it as friendly behind the scenes as it appears to be on camera?
It sounds so boring, but it really is. Like, Al is so funny, Al Roker.
Yeah.
And Anne is so caring. I mean, these things are maybe sound like, oh, it's just for show, and that's what they are. And Meredith is like the nicest person that you ever want to meet. Always a smile, no prima donna, no, theatrics. And everyone, I'm very
What's
happy
Matt
to
like?
get. Oh,
Matt was in Philadelphia, which is where our studio is based, and he worked here many, many years ago, and people just loved him.
He's so funny.
Very down to earth and that kind of thing.
And funny, and a Surbeck. It comes across. He's very.
So he's basically the same kind of guy as he is what we see every morning.
Right.
So did you ever figure that you'd find yourself on like the top-rated morning show? I mean, you've been on 2 of the top-rated morning shows between Good Morning America and the Today Show. Did you have that aspiration when you were
very
younger?
very grateful to be a part of it and to be so long-lasting. I think having that specialty, that consumer reporting, has helped me. But yeah, it's been a great career, and I could only have hoped for it.
Yeah, you did. You found that niche, and you really carved it out and made something. You made it something that now we expect. We need our consumer correspondent. Especially
in these times.
Yeah.
I mean, you need it all the time, but now, people really, if I'm going to buy this, should I buy that? And, we could do a story about a mattress, and how do you know which mattresses, and do I need to spend $5,000, or can I spend $800? And a lot of it is just so esoteric, so you need someone to break it down for you.
Well, I can always count on you to break it down for us. I have to tell you, every time I see you in the morning on the Today Show, I smile. Not only because I appreciate the work that you do, but I say, I know her. She is exactly as she is in person as she is on camera. Janice Lieberman, great success. We wish you continued success with How to Shop for a Husband. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. We'll do it again.
Wonderful to have you here. Until the next time, my thanks to my crew and to you for watching. I'm Lynn Doyle. Goodbye.